With the new Systematic Theology section of the Passage Guide, you can see everywhere your systematic theological resources reference a biblical passage, and then view the results by subdiscipline and the denominational affiliation of the author. Imagine you're reading through Luke's Gospel. You come to 22:19 and you want to know what your systematic theology resources have to say about the meaning of the Lord's Supper. Simply right-click on verse 19. From the context menu, select the reference Luke 22:19 and choose to run the passage guide. When I scroll down to the Systematic Theology section, I find that Logos has arranged my references according to the various subdisciplines within systematic theology. I find, for instance, that some of my systematic resources use this verse in their discussion of theology proper, bibliology, Christology, soteriology, and more. Since this passage is most often used in discussions about the person and work of Christ, I'll expand the section titled Christology. Notice that Logos has also broken down each of my search results in denominational groups. For example, Heinrich Schmidt's The Doctrinal Theology of the Evangelical Lutheran Church is naturally placed under the category Lutheran. This gives me a quick and easy way to explore my systematic theologies according to the specific topic they address, as well as the denominational tradition they are writing from. The medieval philosopher and theologian Thomas Aquinas writes, "I answer that the presence of Christ's true body and blood in this sacrament cannot be detected by sense nor understanding, but by faith alone, which rests upon divine authority." The Methodist Joseph Beets, however, in his A Manual of Theology, argues that these words do not mean that the bread was actually Christ's own body. When I scroll down to the Reformed category and click on Calvin's Institutes, under the heading The Spiritual Presence of Christ, I find what has been called the spiritual view of the Lord's Supper, where Christ is spiritually present when the Christian partakes, providing nourishment and sustenance for the soul. With the Systematic Theology section, Logos automatically sorts my resources in the appropriate doctrinal section and allows me to compare the theological viewpoints of various authors. To get started using Logos' Systematic Theology section, subscribe today.